All right. Well, that was terrible. All right, welcome back to the channel. My name is Matt. Last episode was a bit of defeating. In true OSR fashion, our good friends Lifric and Saran, well, I usually do this with a red marker, but I like to put a little skull on them because they are, what did I call them? Troll kebabs, I think. So yep, they're dead. Nice knowing you guys. So we're going to pick up with our two heroes that remain, Hal and Irbend. I guess it should be Irbend, but I like Irbend. I have a serious goal of making this a shorter video. A few things that I'm going to look at. I have this book, which is the one that the Willow Valley Gazetteer was in, but it also has some class options, and it has my all-time favorite class. I love the Bard. It's one of my favorite. So what I've done is I've decided that the group would definitely need to have more fighters. So I've decided that the group is going to stay in Barrowmoor and maybe even travel to Willowford and wait until they can get a hold of two solid melee types. I have created a quick 2d6 table to determine what they find available, and once we get two of them, we will move forward and generate those characters. Between the two towns, they are able to find, oh yes, a Bard. So let's see, Bard does not have any restrictions or anything in this game. So again, we're going to roll a d6 to see which attribute he gets a bonus in. 5, so that is wisdom. Interesting. So he gets a higher wisdom, +1 on that. He is a Bard. Human. All right, so we've got Joseph the Bard. And I am going to, before I do that, I'm going to equip them with my standard pack, which is a backpack, sleeping roll or bedroll, and then I've got this neat little thing. This actually comes from a version of Knave. That is the game by a gentleman who is just another game designer. This was a reskinning that somebody did, but I really liked it, and it also has a, random generation ability to determine things that you start with. So let's look at armor. They've got some goofy armor in here, so we're just gonna go with leather. Well, they got chain way up there, and I think plate will be very rare, so we'll go with those. And whoa, he starts out with some chain armor. That's some good stuff. And then they've got some additional things you can roll. So let's see what else he starts out with. 13 padlock. Well, that's a little weird, but okay. Could be useful. Run into that zombie horde down in the dungeon. Oh, and a 1 and rope 50 foot. It's always useful, right? So 5 torches. Odd number of 5, whatever. And the last one for him, 20 nails. Okay. Well, his armor class starts out at 14. He does not get a to hit bonus. His saving throw starts out at 15. And then he gets lore at 1, which that means in white box you roll a d6 and you roll a 1 on the d6. Now, because he also has a +1 in wisdom, I will probably give Joseph some sort of bonus. He will just have a sword. He's a pretty standard bardish type. Oh, you know what he needs? Every bard should have, what do you think? I think Joe would play a flute. Yeah. Look, if I could spell, it'd be great. And then I think Mr. Bard here will also take a short bow. Oh, hit points. Whew, very important. Come on, Joseph, don't roll low. That's pretty good. And that's all he gets, right? Yep. All right, so there we have Joseph the Bard. And the other person that they will be recruiting for their little group is a ranger. I am cool with that as well. So we have the ranger in this book as well, somewhere around there. No, I saw it. Ranger, here we go. The ranger, let's see which ability is, oh, I believe that's strength. It gets +1. I am going to name Sir Rob. There you go, Rob. It's another friend of mine. Just going with friends tonight. All right, so he is going to be a ranger. And I think a ranger could be an elf, don't you? Let's roll. I think 1 through 4 he's human, and a 5 and a 6 he's an elf. Ooh, we got an elf. Now I'm not going to give him any special things like casting or anything that you might get with a elf. I'm not going to play that. I'm just going to go straight with the ranger. A sword. Well, these guys are clones of each other, eh? Oops, that would be a D6. And he would have a long bow. Not the English longbow, because, well, that would be freaking huge. All right, we're going to roll for him now. If he gets chain or, well, you know what? I'm just going to give him leather armor because I think that makes sense. And that gives him a 12 armor class. Gear, he gets his usual pack. He does not get spells. That's 1, 0. Saving throw of 16. He gets forestry at 2. That's pretty damn good. Let's see, what else can he do? Giant Slayer gets a saving throw versus poison +2. Need to roll hit points. All right, come on, baby. Oh, that was almost a 2. Sir Robert. All right, so there we have our new compadres in the party. And you know what? I did want to do one more thing. Also in Knave is this pretty fantastic little traits. And this is sort of related to the virtue and vice, which this actually has virtue and vice on it as well. So I'm going to roll on each one of these characters, because one thing I failed to really do is actually create some character. So I'm gonna add a couple things here to you know what, I forgot to do that too. Wow, I'm just jumping all over the place. Let's see how organized I am. Joseph and Sir Robert, we need to determine their GP, their starting gold. And the way I did it last time, if I remember right, is I rolled 3d6, and that is what they, So Robert, you are a poor mofo. And you get a 12. Joe's rocking some wealth. All right, so I'm just gonna do a quick thing here. I'm gonna go with virtue. This is Sir Robert. Let's go with Sir Robert first. Whoop, I hit the camera. Whoa, the world shakes. All right, 20. Oh, he's tolerant. Okay, so that is a virtue. Vice is 4. He's cowardly. And the reason I do this is, you gotta remember, with a solo game, you're playing not only the dungeon master, but you're also playing the characters. So when a situation comes up, and let me try to come up with one really quick here. Sir Robert is faced with a moment, say just like in our last session with trolls. Sir Robert knows that his friend Joseph is about to die. If he runs in and saves him, he could save his life. But does he do that? Now, to help me as a player, because I'm playing both sides of the DM screen, what I can do is, you could just roll this, and then it's just really completely up to chance. But, oops, I meant to do that. by using this as a little bit of a guide, you actually build a little bit of inherent character. Like now we know Sir Robert the Ranger, he's tolerant, but he's also a cowardly turd. So Joseph is about to get eaten by a troll. Does Robert run in and save him? Now, looking at his vices, now this isn't necessarily always going to be how you guide things, but this can guide you on how you move this slider. So in this case, I would say he's cowardly. Now, if the characters had just met, I would probably go straight with this and say, he's probably not going to run in and help his buddy. If they'd been around for a long time and they had built up a relationship, you know, maybe we played 10 sessions, maybe even I had a little cutscene where, I don't know, they went out drinking and carousing and picked up some tavern wenches or something, you know, that might slide over that way. But this is why I do this. This helps guide me in steering this slider a little bit when I'm determining what characters will do in certain actions. So that's just one thing I like to use. All right, let's go to Joseph now. Joe's a good buddy of mine. We'll be sleeping on his couch soon. His virtue is he's humble. Yeah. His vice, 20. He's whiny. Oops, I can't spell tonight. Oh, wow. I totally misspelled those words. You guys can see full-on effect here that Matt cannot spell. All right, Hal, which I've messed up the back now. So 6. Hal, his virtue is 6. He is disciplined. Wow, all of my videos are going to have Mr. T walking around crying. 18 is his vice. He's vengeful. Oof. Now, see, that really makes a lot of sense because his buddies just were, you know, devastated. Now, he's going to want vengeance, but his virtue is disciplined. So that could play into the fact that he's not going to run in there and just immediately want vengeance. Or maybe it does. Maybe one of them takes priority over the other one. Oh, wow. Oh, wait, no, 5, sorry. Curious. That fits for a thief, right? And his vice is... Oh, she's a whiny little cunt, too. All right. One thing I also like to do, which I managed to totally skip over, is I like to figure out which one of these is the stronger of their virtue and vice. So let's just start with Mr. Irbend here. Blue is going to be the virtue, red is their vice. This is kind of the strength. Oh, and these are equal. So neither one takes priority in his personality. It's interesting. Wow, this is really weird. That was Mr. Joseph. He's humble and whiny. And this is Mr. Robert. Oh, he is cowardly. That's his. He is a chicken shit. Rob, you are a chicken shit, buddy. And Hal is vengeful. So what that means is this guy is probably itching for an ass kicking of some trolls. All right, so that's all I've got today. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Come back next episode when the group will decide what we're going to do. All right, thanks for watching.